This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
還元一級の先というのは本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula gidelim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Ça, c'est ça, che c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Élise. Moi c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nej. Come on. Bien. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bakva, okay, Bakvaz is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, sì, ecco, la gente, è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io. I buy a computer or what? Here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or, what sounds vaguely like Hogun and the hok in Hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that appears it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, sa son chassé, ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt. Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo GeoGuessr, y hablando de idiomas, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más. Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos. Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Fui, which means, do you want food? But, yeah, are you hungry? That kind of thing. How are the boys? Cocine da boya. Poso milao. Pote. Buenese. Proteine. Utros. Topulo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously. Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Monsieur. Livre. Liwe, livre.
Paks.
Mustan kissan paksut posket.
Maciej. Ja. Si. Vysoki. Macieje. Proč? Inter. Počkej. A. Si.
Track 6.
Aspri Petra xes aspri apton ilio xex asproteri. Aspri Petra xes aspri apton ilio xes asproteri.
En coginio panas.
Oh boy.
Ad ferad verda ferra ferda vetri.
Jacob.
Hefed. 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 Hek. Hek. Hek.
Саша по шоссе.
А Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку. А Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку.
Mwalimu.
This is Arabic. And it's from Mu'allim.
Juma ni mwalimu mke.
Ирак чима в чипах чемп чавю ченчи чини. Чирак чима в чипа да, чирак чима в чипцах чемп чавю ченчи чини. Бакакит алшит. Хикрин. Бакакит алши хикрин.
Oh, things do cat sounds. Meow and the pictures of the fish. That's they were proud.
Sööpel. Kupu. Yrittävät. Puraista. Omena.
Are in the city center. And it's got some interesting aspects to it.
여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까? 여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까? 여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까?
Countries or living things.
兄の名前は
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my... Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages, and this is a stream where we're gonna play some GeoGuessr, and we're gonna look at some of the best and perhaps not so best that YouTube has to offer language learners. How's everybody doing as we get stuck into the daily challenge? Okay. Got a yield sign, a giveaway sign. Avenue. Quelque chose Verne. Okay, someplace French speaking and it's not Canada. Par un déménagement attentionné, efficace Jardinier. Paysagiste. No clue. I mean, this is almost certainly France. Fibre optique. Propriété privée. Mais je sais pas exactement où on se trouve. Ah. Ça a l'air de... Je sais pas qu'on se trouve quelque part dans la France, mais jusqu'ici c'est un peu difficile. Okay, probably someplace in France. Statistically, that seems the most likely. Fairly urbanized area. Running out of time, so... urbanized areas in France almost always turn out to be Paris in this game. So I'm going to say it's someplace in Paris. 3806. Where was that? Oh, Geneva. That was a rare visit to Switzerland and to French Switzerland. That was... oh, I knew those number plates did not... one of them said GE, and it did not really look strictly like a French number plate. Looked more like a German or Swiss or Austrian one. But I did not actually fully comprehend what I was looking at. GE is Genf, Geneva. Okay, something about this feels either British or Irish so far. And no, pensez à nous, roulez tout doux. We are someplace French speaking. Traverser chevaux, okay, so horse crossing. And that is definitely a French style sign there. I'm just gonna say someplace right here. It takes forever to figure out, oh, we were in Brittany. Okay. Now, what have we got? Palm tree. Looks quite dry. See, can we get to a main road really quickly? I mean, I feel like this is probably the US. But it could be a few other places, certainly. We're going to find out which one it is, or we're going to, well, we will find out. The question is whether we also find out that I'm right about it. They will eventually tell us where this is. Yapanya Crescent. We are in Australia. Name like that. I think that puts us probably in some place in Victoria. Yeah, no, it puts us someplace in just inside Queensland. Okay, this looks Russian. This looks very Russian. It's snowy, it's scuffed, It's not Russian. Chanasan Goemon Kimbap. Korean food. Korean food. Darchel Sharsen Tachil. Could this be Mongolia, actually? I think we might be in Mongolia. A big sign that says nothing. Not a great help. Oh yeah, we're in Mongolia. I'm just gonna say someplace around Ulaanbaatar. 4490. Okay. Someplace fairly urbanized. Ah. CIS Junior. 남조선이야. 백퍼 이 하지만 이 남조선의 어느 도시냐고 알고 싶네요. 쌍수도 사업소. 점심 특선 뚝배기. 오케이. 타요. шиномонтаж. по-корейски. 어린이 보호구역. Child Protection Area. 신성 자동차. Okay, so far I'm not finding anything that specifically says what city we're in. I'm just gonna guess Seoul. And no, it is not. Seoul. 4498 though, not bad. How is everybody doing, chat? Classic maps. We're gonna do some world. Last time I did this, I actually set a new personal record, 9 points short of a perfect score. My best score, which was last Saturday, It's 24,991. That's going to be a hard one to beat. Okay. Zone sud, suivre la tranche sur mer. Max ISO pour le bonheur des animaux. A pet shop, or like pet supply shop. Okay. I mean, we are definitely in a French-speaking place. L'offre audition d'Optical Center. Okay, it feels like France. I haven't seen anything that specifically tells me it is not France anyway. Hey, hur har du det? Ja, det er mulig. Det er godt mulig, men jeg tror ikke. Fordi skripten er ikke belgisk. There is a specific French font you see on road signs, small with small caps. I don't believe Belgium has it. Boulevard du préfet Merlet, préfet de la Vendée. Okay. 8 euros. Okay, not French Switzerland. We just had French Switzerland recently. For the first time ever, for me anyway. So we are in, and basically it's either France or Belgium. I would say statistically probably most likely to be France. The only times I've had Belgium, it's actually been in it's been in the Flemish-speaking part of Belgium. Yeah, here you can see that. Ja, det snakker fransk. Det snakker fransk og flamisk. C'est dès le passage. Yeah, that is that French font I was talking about. Rond-point à Louis Gutzwiller. Ah, okay. I think I have a general idea where we must be, actually. Just judging from that name, there is a specific part of France that has names like that. And I was totally wrong. It was totally the other end of France. Bloody hell. It was practically in La Rochelle, and I had it near Strasbourg. Okay, not a great start. Not going to break that record on this round, certainly. Okay. This is left side driving. As far as I can tell, yeah, left side driving. So, and it's desert. Or semi-desert anyway. It's scrubland. Dandenong. We are in Victoria. 87 and 14. Okay. But it feels like we are probably outside of the most urban area of Victoria. also have a Balneist. Beaconsfield Upper. Hang on, what direction are we facing? Dandenong South is to the bollocks. South of us. We are north of Dandenong South. That suggests... Oh, there's 14. There's 87. There, we got it. Okay. $5,000, perfect score on the Dingley bypass. Okay. This could be a lot of places so far. It is a place where people have horses. Those street signs look... Old Noah Hunt. Ella and Old Noah Hunt. Okay, white street signs, which kind of reads Australia again. But nothing else really is reading Australia so far. We've got... Yeah, I mean, those mailboxes aren't Australian style. So... Yeah, I mean, these street markings could be the US or Canada so far. There's nothing that rules them out. Hidden driveway, yeah, the sign, that feels US or Canada. Get us a speed limit sign and we'll know for sure. Oh, hang on, that was a for sale sign there. Monmouth Ocean 908 area code. Can we get closer and actually... No, there's no angle available on that that's legible, so... There we go. Oh, that looks like it could be a speed limit sign. Let's have a look. We're in the US. That speed limit sign is 100% exclusive to the United States. And yeah, let's try this again. Oh no, that's the way I went and ended up in a dead end, so we're gonna go the other way. Yeah, Canadian speed limit signs are the same shape, but they say maximum instead of speed limit, because it's the same in English and French. Okay. Oh, here we go. Monmouth County Clean Communities. So we're in Monmouth County. I think there might be a Monmouth in Kentucky. Not sure about that. And if so, we may be in for another episode of ridiculous Kentucky place names. Repoff Sawmill, Crane Mats, Mulch and Lumber. 609 area code. Another area code I do not know. I would I would get perfect scores so much faster in this game if I just memorized the area codes. Oh, here we go. Monmouth County West. Monmouth County 526. Okay. That doesn't help me much, because I already knew it was Monmouth County. I just don't know where the hell Monmouth County actually is. Though, my feeling is Kentucky. Dingley Village. Dingley Bypass. And so is this going to be another visit to Kentucky? Huntingburg. Florence, Pikeville, Huntington, Charleston. Paint Lick. Crab Orchard. That's how they grow their crabs. Thing is, I've been around Kentucky a fair bit, and I don't think I've ever seen a county route sign that looked like that. So, maybe not. Definitely not Ohio. I would have seen... Things are falling above me, apparently. And if you hear a hissing sound, that's the cicadas. Which, I mean, outside, it is actually, the cicada sound is loud enough to do actual hearing damage. It's like 90 decibels. But even with closed windows, you can hear it. They are everywhere. You can pretty much always tell if it is an Amish area because there will be signs indicating that there are horse and buggies on the road. Yep, yeah, that's how loud it is. It is even louder if you're outside. It is ridiculously loud. Like, you feel physical pressure on your eardrums from how bloody loud the cicadas are. Stone Tavern orchards. Apples picking, pumpkin picking, corn maze, hay rides, vegetables. Ruse Road, Cream Ridge. Oh, it is. It absolutely is a thing. Connector. This could be Virginia, actually. Thinking about it. God, those connector signs are familiar to me. They are a specific regional thing, and I'm just not remembering exactly where they are. Not a useful bin, so we persevere. At night, you hear them, you hear just a few of them, and they sound like pulse dialing on an old touch-tone phone. Read sod farms. A whole farm dedicated to telling people to sod off. Clayton Concrete, Allentown, New Jersey. Okay, we're in New Jersey apparently. Barnechat. Yeah. Holiday City, Berkeley. Egg Harbor. Interesting name. Allentown, New Jersey. I had no idea there was an Allentown in New Jersey. Oh, there we go. Allentown. Now there's a county route around here someplace. It's like 200 something. Ass Unpink Wildlife Management Area. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, there's the Allentown I had heard of before. Allentown, Pennsylvania. I did not know that New Jersey was keeping a spare Allentown. Okay, we'll just say somewhere around there. 49.59. Starzyny. Polska. Projektowanie składania ogrodów. Sklep. Nawozy. Trawnik ozdobny. Poznanska, ulica Poznanska, which means really nothing. A street could be named after Poznan in all sorts of places. Świeże jajka. Dofinansowano ze środków Państwowego Funduszu Celowego. Fundusz Dróg Samorządowych. Kiekżu polegający na budowie chodnika. Okay, that does not actually... I mean, that just says the central government is paying for this. Oh, here we go, here we go. Katowice, Poznan, Rokietnica. Okay, and which way is Katowice from us? We are southeast of Katowice. We're on the S11. S11. Katowice. There's Poznan. Piła, Poznan, Rokietnica, Katowice. S11. Gliwice, famous for being home to possibly the most elaborate false flag action ever, actually. Okay, there's 11. Bytom, Wojkowice, S1. Oh wait, if that's S1, does that mean that the S ones are actually not the same as... Yes, the S ones... No, wait a second. S86 and 86 are the same. Okay, so S11. Pawonków, Tarnowskie Góry. Okay, and does that end at Bytom? It does. So... Yeah, okay, so we're probably around Bytom. Kraków... 4143. We were actually right in Poznan. So sometimes the street being named after Poznan actually means it's in Poznan. Okay, we've got rural, hilly, another horse fence. That is a US style fire hydrant, and we've got US Canadian style mailboxes. Bunches of them. Sausalito and Balboa. That begins to sound like maybe we're in California? That's useless. You see that company's name on bins all over the United States. Santa Ana and Balboa. Okay. Okay. Not really finding any main roads around here. It would really... That is what... When we get into these sorts of ex-urban and suburban areas, I like to try to find a main road. Okay, yeah, that house looks very much... That looks very California. So I think I'm pretty safe in saying we are in California. Judging from this landscape, I'm going to say probably Northern California. I mean, one really handy thing about California for these purposes is that you can reliably tell where you are, at least in the north-south direction, just looking at the landscape, just looking at the hills and stuff. You find it fairly quickly. One aspect of the privatization of public services that really does not get discussed enough is the impact it has had on GeoGuessr that we don't have the name of the local authority on the bins. Bollocks, it's a dead end. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everything is telling me we're in the U.S. Carcero Santana. And really, everything is telling me we are probably in Northern California. Or sort of northern central, because there is some dryness here. Like, this is definitely too green to be LA. Put it that way. Like, does this ever connect to a main road that gets out of here, or are we just going to be going through all this randomness here? I mean, it's pretty, but it's not particularly informative. Well, I'm not beating my top score this time anyway. So we're gonna say, yeah, definitely not. I'm gonna say someplace around here. Oh, actually just a little bit further south, just north of SLO. Not too bad. Not bad, just going by topography and street names. Okay, we're going to start another round, and then I'm going to have a quick bio break. For sale, and the area code begins with 01332. We are not in North America. The council name is on the bins, but it's just not very legible. So, come on, bins, tell me, reveal your secrets to me. Okay, let's see, what are these? One yellow number plate, one white number plate. That's interesting. Ah, bollocks. Okay, how the hell do I get out of this little estate? Ah, here we go. Millimore Close. Yeah, this is looking... It is either in Britain or run by Britain. Lincoln Green. Yeah, okay. Ah, no, this wasn't a good idea. This is taking me into another estate, and what I want is to find the high street. Well, not the high street, but a main road anyway. British high streets, yep. Or the 6 counties, possibly. But not enough Union Jacks to be the... In fact, not enough flags generally to be the 6 counties so far. Haven't even painted their curbstones. Hey, Riveroon, how you doing? Arriva bus. Those poor sods. Arriva is the shittest transportation you will find in Britain. Chilliston Park Court. Arriva used to be in charge of the trains in Wales, and wow, were they bad. Arriva trains are so bad they made the Virgin trains you could get from Holyhead to London look good. Yeah, definitely. No Welsh in it. Derby Road, Parkway, Maple Drive, the Chellaston Beauty Tulip, Row Allen Way, Chellaston, Scallywag's Private Dana. Yeah, cute name for a nursery. And how are the creatures? Celestin. That's sort of vaguely familiar. Loughborough, Colville, Beeston, Long-Eaton, Belper. Great name. Oh, the original Newark. And Melton Mowbray. Melton Mowbray has this great thing that they do where they claim the naming rights for stuff made in other places. So, like, if you get Stilton cheese, it is made in Melton Mowbray. In Stilton, where they came up with Stilton cheese, why it gets its name, they are not allowed to call Stilton cheese Stilton. And there are a bunch of other things like that. They've just gone... Actually, that was EU naming rights they were using. Long-Eaton... Colville... Barrow upon... Ashby de la Zouche. The home of Adrian Mole. Stoke-on-Trent. Home of the Potteries. Home of... They could do so... Stoke-on-Trent is just depressing as hell. Because they have these amazing smokestacks from the old potteries. And the only thing the council have thought to do, the only thing that anyone seems to have thought to do with those, is pile construction waste around them. Like, there is, in South Wales, a World Heritage Site, and a former, like, old, I think, 18th, 19th century ironworks. It is done so beautifully. Oh, good to hear the ferret is better. Celestin. That be... Celestin, it is part of Derby. Wait, there's a part of Derby called California. Yeah, I'm gonna say that probably there is no place in Derby that actually that would remind anyone of California. Just gonna go out on a limb there. Derby Road. There's the roundabout. There we go. $49.99. Not bad. Good start today. Good start on this round. And with that, I'm going to take a little bio break. And I will be back in just a few minutes.
Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
E l'ospitale
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は、
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Mordför är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okuladayım. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is sword, and that also means elephant. Okay.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Ça, c'est ça, che c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyper Polyglotting avec Élise. Moi, c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues. 10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nej. Man. Igen. Jo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bakva, okay, Bakvas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Ah sì, ecco, la gente... è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo. Io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota. Right, that's me back. And okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're no longer in Derbyshire. Red clay, sandy, very deserty. Sahel Herbal Center. AK Tech. Beauty Saloon. Okay. I'm thinking West Africa at this point. Because although there is definitely desert in South Africa, doesn't really look like this. Sokoto. Okay. The place names do not feel Nigerian. Yeah, okay. But on the other hand, I'm really not sure what they do sound like. So I'm going to say Nigeria. 3320. Okay. Not going to beat my record today, but there we go. Okay. Feels very US Canadian. Unadian. Blue stem. McKinney. I'm gonna keep going this way, hope that we
get some clues. Oh, look. I love this trend. I mean, because it is just so meme-worthy. It's a fake gaslight. It's meant to look like it's a gaslight, but actually, they're gaslighting you about it being a gaslight. Okay, what did those signs say? Okay, those say Eden and Rambling, which aren't very helpful. Bicycle Boulevard. I've never seen that sign before. First Texas Homes. McKinney, Texas, I guess. Fortunately, Texas is only about the size of, like, many countries. McKinney, there we go. $49.62. Okay. Feels vaguely Russian. Well, the damn tree's getting in the way there, so I can't tell whether that is, I mean, that is Cyrillic. Lukoil. Ekto. Gostinitsa. Okay, we are someplace in Russia. Автовышки, манипулятора, Евроцемент. Wait. Wait a second. Why this is building supplies and it's called Gostinitsa, which is a hotel. Is this a hotel that also will sell you cement? Is that the idea? That's random. Гостиница, сауна, авторемонт. Translated into English: hotel, sauna, auto repair. Okay. That's an interesting combination. Kislorod, propan. Ah. They sell propane and propane products. Внимание! Участники движения, соблюдайте чистоту на дорогах.
Уважайте труд дорожников. Attention, participants in traffic. Maintain the cleanliness of the roads. Respect the work of road workers. We're still no closer to knowing where the hell this is in Russia, because Russia is one of the few countries where you can get the country right, but still get a 3-digit score. Kotova. Не знаю. Oh, hang on. Красный Яр, Жирновск, Слюсарьево. Красный Яр, not Krasnoyarsk, but Krasny Yar. Well, let's see. Is there a Krasny Yar in Krasnoyarsk? It would make sense. But place names do not always have to make sense. Krasnoyarsk. Уяр. Большая Мурта. Памяти 13 борцов. Сухова, Денисова. Уяр. Партизанское. Унир. Okay. Hang on. There was a sign. Where's the sign now? Okay, this is weird. A minute ago there was a sign. Ah, here we go. Слюсарьево, Красный Яр, Жирновск. Новосельск, Тертеж. Малая Кускунка, Хвойный, Керамический. There's a town called Ceramic. Николаевка. Авда. Заозерный, Зеленогорск. Речка. Сокаревка. Okay, we're just gonna say it's near Krasnoyarsk. It could take forever to figure out exactly. It is not near Krasnoyarsk. It is nowhere near Krasnoyarsk. I got 570. I told you. This is one of the few countries where you can get the country right and still end up with a 3-digit score. I actually last week managed to get a score of 1. I played what was easily the worst round of GeoGuessr of my entire life. Yeah, exactly. Just an Atlantic Ocean away. Vende. Monica Neves. Okay. That name makes me think maybe actually
But this is a Portuguese-speaking place. But you can't really be sure based on just that. Oh, wait, okay, let's go back. Conselho Limpo. Okay, yeah, Portuguese speaking, certainly. And I'm leaning towards it being Portugal and not Brazil. But we need a stop sign to know that for sure. Rua Nossa Senhora do Carmo. Yeah, this is Portugal. But just for drill, what does the stop sign say? It says stop. Because it's in the EU and they follow EU standards. Colega. Okay, so we are somewhere in Portugal, which is easier than being somewhere in Brazil, let me just say. I don't know if I've ever gotten a 3-digit score in Brazil. I don't know if that's actually possible. Yeah, .pt. We are 100% in Portugal. But you can definitely get a score in the low 4 digits. Start car. Now let's see. Apparently, this is a part of Portugal where snow can be an issue. Didn't really realize that far south in Europe snow was an issue anywhere. God, the cicadas are loud. That is unbelievable. Hallo! Ja, det går bra. Det går bra.
Du, hur har du det? Projetos comunitários, consultadora de gestão de empresas limitada. Evento, serviço à lista, takeaway. Oh, hang on. That looked like it was telling me what city we're in. Vi spiller på å finne ut var vi finnes i Nord-Portugal. Ávidos. Soluções de publicidade. Tabarnak. Fy faen. Jeg har sett så mye varkveum i siste tiden at jeg prater litt som om jeg var fra Bergen. Jysk. Ok, Pina Ferreira. Cerâmicos. Oh, the A. Okay, A7. That helps. Det er hele verden. Men vi finnes noen steds i Portugal nå. A7 og 3 A1 A2 og 26. Og 24. Men jeg tror at jeg finnes noen steds i Nord-Portugal. Men jeg ser ikke noen A7. 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 Der har jeg Paris, Famalicão, Famalicão, Vila do Conde, Guimarães, Povo de Varzim, Vila do Conde. Ja, hvis jeg så riktig, så er byen området Famalicão. Ja, det er også det jeg tror. vedo Gonji. Ah sì, ha un noce di porto, pova di Varzin. $49.56. Not bad, not bad. Okay, now we are going to... sista uken hade vi en rund på GeoGuessr i nyårsbuen. Första gången som vi har varit på GeoGuessr i nyårsbuen. Lågårsbuen. Hey, Atta. Just in time, we are about to switch gears, and so oh, where did I put it? There we go. I have kind of started to learn Marathi. Mostly just kind of coincidentally. My foundational language acquisition text, which is John Grisham's The Firm, of all the Indian languages, the only Indian language it seems to have been translated into is Marathi. So for my birthday, I asked for and received a copy in Marathi. And I have discovered from that how different Marathi actually is to Hindi. And I found an interesting video on the language and its pronunciation and other useful and interesting and beautiful weird things about Marathi that ja, ganska sjeldent. Det är eneste gång som jag har sett det på GeoGuessr. Well, let me get that chat widget where I need it. So we're going to have a look at this. I'm going to just drop the link in chat. It is a channel called India by India in Pixels, which I've never heard of before. But I have to say, I've already watched a little of this, and it was quite good. It's very interesting. Apparently they do other like interesting things about India, but this is about Marathi and why it sounds the way it does. Gonna skip ahead a little bit.
And Maithili can taste so. Doston, don't you think her language ka unique sa taste?
And it's very interesting. It's interesting the way you can hear the degree to which English gets commingled with Indian languages from the way the narration is. Let me just make sure you can actually see the subtitles, since the video is actually mostly in Hindi. So, okay, here we go. Want to make sure my head is not blocking the English subs there.
Profile hota hai. Languages like Bengali and Maithili can taste soft and sweet, as if cotton candy kha rahe ho. And wahi Marathi can make you feel like you're eating something like curry ka achar. Compared to Bengali, it is a little more sour, tangy, and spicy. Marathi does not try too hard to be sweet. It is not afraid to throw in some rough and tough sounds here and there. But ye sab ke bawajood.
And one thing I have noticed in my introduction to Marathi, which through the Marathi translation of John Grisham's The Firm, is that the word endings are nothing like any Indian language I've spent any kind of time with. I mean, they don't resemble Hindi. They don't resemble like Punjabi. They don't resemble Bengali. They're longer and just totally different.
German या Arabic की तरह harsh sound नहीं करती. I feel like Marathi एक नदी की तरह flow करती है. Sometimes this नदी is calm and gentle. और दूसरे वक्त this becomes fast and ferocious. इस वीडियो में हम आंसर करने की कोशिश करेंगे कि ऐसे क्या स्पेसिफिक रीजंस हैं जिनसे मराठी को एक यूनिक स्पेशल चुलबुला सा फ्लेवर मिलता है. What gives Marathi its unique texture?
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to the narration, he is speaking Hindi with lots of English in it, which seems to be just the way people speak Hindi.
चलिए, let's start by comparing a Bengali song with its Marathi version, and let's see कि Bengali की comparison में.
Bengali is another one that I have tried to learn. There, the writing system was difficult because they have these combinations, these ligatures, and there are so many elements in them that I find I need a bloody magnifying glass to read them.
मराठी कैसे अलग sound करता है?
Deke choki take oi nil nodir kare. Meger adale peshe yakashiran rantanu genai. Hey, Badger. We're watching an interesting video that I found about why Marathi sounds the way it sounds, because I've started to learn Marathi. And I just kind of had this realization as I was starting to read through this book, which is John Grisham's The Firm translated into Marathi, that obviously just because it uses the same writing system, that does not mean that it's going to be pronounced the same way. And so I wanted to make sure that the Marathi I was hearing in my head as I read it was going to be the same as it's supposed to be, as opposed to me just reading Marathi with like a Hindi pronunciation, which would be a little bit like reading French with like according to Swedish pronunciation rules or something like that, which actually would probably sound really cool now that I think of it. One thing that I've learned is, okay, if you notice there's this letter in the second to last word in the Marathi subs that looks like infinity. And what it is halfway between L and R. It is a retroflex L sound. It is of the liquid consonants, which is what L's and R's and stuff like that are called technically. It is sort of like a non-binary liquid consonant. It has L bits, it has R bits, and it refuses to accept a binary of L and R. It is like I probably am not getting it right yet. Abhar Vitale. They really like the retroflex N as well. The N. Yeah, Hindi I've never seen it in. They have a few letters like that they do that are like Marathi originals. And then some of the vowels are written differently as well.
अगर हम दोनों लिरिक्स को साइड बाय साइड रख के कंपेयर करें, we start
Okay, dekecho ki ta ke oenil ni notir dare onzarit lapale te mihi sparshale. Oh, and they like to stick R's before consonants in Marathi is one thing I'm learning. There is that R ligature there on everything. It is way they go much more all in on retroflex than Hindi does.
Seen some interesting differences. Marathi has some unique letters that you might not have come across in Hindi before, like R and Rya.
R, Rya.
But I'm getting ahead of
Ra.
myself. We'll come to this section soon. अभी के लिए let's just focus on the vowels and consonants. अगर हम हर consonant को एक red dot से represent करें और हर vowel को एक yellow dot से represent करें, and we place these dots below these letters, we start seeing that an interesting pattern emerges. To explain it a little more, देखे छो यहाँ पे हर consonant द, ख और छ में एक vowel added है, and so
Yeah.
this word is represented as consonant vowel, consonant vowel, consonant vowel.
Yeah. Bangla has a much simpler syllable structure a lot of the time.
But take the Marathi.
This is he's using Devanagari writing to represent Bengali, which is the only reason I can read the Bengali there.
Word unzalita. यहाँ पे एक vowel है
Unzalita.
O and then a consonant cluster nz, hence two dots. फिर ri, which is a consonant vowel, and then a consonant t. इस तरह हम हर word को mark करेंगे.
Unzalita.
We see that Bengali has an even consonant vowel pattern to it, while Marathi has little more diversity in it. On counting the dots, हम पाते हैं कि Bengali has almost an even distribution of vowels and consonants, जबकि Marathi में there is a rich concentration of consonants and vowels को थोड़ा sparingly.
There is a very rich concentration of consonants. The rhythm it changes the rhythm totally, which is one of the things that I'm actually finding very complicated, because the Indian language I have any familiarity with at all. The only one that I can actually kind of have a conversation in is Hindi. And I was hoping, it's an Indo-Aryan language, it uses Devanagari, didn't come up with its own writing system, so I figured, and it's spoken in an area where Hindi is also spoken, so I figured it's probably going to be a lot like Hindi, like Punjabi is. And it is nothing like Hindi. It is nothing like Hindi. Hey, Giga M.
use करा जाता है Bengali के compared. In fact, Marathi also has a lot of these consonant clusters.
Yeah, Srushti, Tyache, Nav.
These double dots that are found very rarely in Bangla. अगर हम nearby dots को अब एक line से जोड़ दें and ये बाकी सारे elements को हटा दें, we are better able to visualize the texture of both these languages. While
That is such an interesting way of putting it, the texture of a language.
Bengali ka profile is very symmetrical. It is also very uniform. A continuous sandwich of consonants and vowels with some double consonants here and there. But Marathi पे गौर फरमाइए. Unlike Bengali, there are sections here which are loaded.
I like the color scheme here.
With consonants, and then these sections are punctuated with other sections that have these consonant vowel sandwiches, like Bengali. Comparison के लिए मैंने इस गाने को German में भी translate किया और उसको हिंदी.
Hast du sie am Ufer des blauen Flusses gesehen? Ich muss dieses Fenster mal umverteilen. Mit Regen zu ihren Füßen, wie mag ihr Name gehen? Im wassergenässten Fels zum Himmel streckt sie die Hand, sucht den Regenbogen verborgen hinter Wolken am anderen Strand. Wow, neat. He actually made a point of getting it to rhyme.
Transliterate किया, and then I repeated the same process to get this visualization. Notice how
I mean, actually, it's kind of neat that he used German, because this is like you've almost got sort of the German flag colors here.
German mein there are two frequent breaks between vowels and consonants. There are also triple consonant clusters. If we place this next to
There are
Gregorian-
quadruple consonant clusters, especially if you get to East German place names, where you will have names like Chkopau, Z-S-C-H-K-O-P-A-U.
In Marathi, I feel you can appreciate how Marathi combines the both extremities. It has the density of German with the fluidity of Bangla, which explains why despite having consonant clusters like spur, tyr, ya, ये language सुनने में इतनी rough नहीं लगती.
आज गोकुळात रंग खेळतो हरी राधिके जरा जपून जा तुझ्या घरी आज गोकुळात रंग खेळतो हरी.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna just look at this. Okay, so Aj Gokulat Ranga Kerato Hari. So Aj I know. That is today. That's today in Hindi too. Ranga, that is color in Hindi too. And then one thing I notice here, I've seen this already in another word, Mirra. The l sound in Hindi, like kelna, is to play. Like, but here it's kelto, with this special non-binary LR thing that's going on there, the infinity letter. So that seems to be a thing that they do a lot in Marathi. They take where you have an L sound in Hindi, milna, mirla, and they turn it into a her. Yeah, I find that very handy. It has all sorts of different subtitles. It's really well done. Yeah, India with pixels is I'm really liking this channel. And so Hari is at the end of this phrase. Aj Gokulat Rang Kerto Hari. Today Hari plays with color in Gokul. Gokulat is in Gokul. Rang Kerto is plays with color. Oh yeah, interesting.
राधिके जरा
Zara Zapun
जपून जा तुझ्या घरी
Tujha Gari.
आज गोकुळात सखी.
It is hard to confuse.
Yeah, like the word endings in Marathi are way longer. Like Hindi, in Hindi, like the ending that means in something is meh. It's just one letter with a dot and a vowel sign above it. And in Marathi, it's like madhya. And then sometimes that combines with other stuff as well. And so you get really, really long, like endings with lots of consonants in them.
Use Marathi with any other Indian language because of some distinctive sounds that only Marathi uses. Most of you must have known about this letter that
The
looks like
infinity
infinity
letter.
symbol and makes the sound
Yeah.
R from a previous video of ours. R at this point is almost a symbol of
Yeah.
identity for Marathis because of how frequently it is used in this.
Although apparently there is a part of Maharashtra where Marathi speakers speak it differently, pronounce it differently. Like a totally different pronunciation. I forget what it was, but I was looking up this letter and I found a Reddit thread where it was talking about how there's apparently a Marathi dialect where this is pronounced completely different. Yeah, Kari.
Language.
ये हिंदी में लोटस को क्या बोलते हैं? कमल. ओ, लोग क्या बोलते हैं मराठी में? कमल. सेम ही तो
कमल.
है. कमल, कमल.
Kamar.
You will see.
I mean, it makes it sound more South Indian, actually, because I've noticed, like, I've not really done much with South Indian languages, but occasionally I've watched cooking videos in, like, Tamil, in Telugu, in Kannada, and I noticed they go farther in for the retroflex consonants than Hindi does. Hindi has a few of them, but it's like, but the Southern Indian languages,
you can have just a string of nothing but double retroflex consonants.
In many Marathi surnames like Kulkarni, Ingle, Kamble, Salunke, so on and so forth. But honestly speaking, Ra is not that unique to Marathi. Several other
Yeah, Tamil is one I'm interested in.
languages have this sound, including Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Gadwali, Punjabi,
Rajasthani. Yeah. Kumaoni.
Gujarati, etc. What is truly unique to Marathi are these sounds.
This is now my friend who taught me my first words of Hindi, and I can tell you what my first words of Hindi were. I remember them very well. Mujhe ye bakwas pasand nahi hai, which means I do not like this crap. And also I learned Devanagari from her. She was from Maharashtra. So when I decided just sort of randomly that I was going to start learning some Marathi, I decided to ask her, did she know Marathi? And she said, actually, she hated Marathi class in school. They had to learn it because it's the state language. And she found it extremely frustrating. And one of the first things that indicated to me why she might find it extremely frustrating is this, what he's about to be talking about here. Because in Hindi, these letters will make different sounds, but you add a dot to them. You add a dot to indicate which sound they make. In Marathi, they don't go in for dots.
इसमें नया क्या है? च, ज, झ, ये तो हिंदी में भी हैं. But friends, here I'm talking about the alternate variations of these letters. च, z, or z. These above normal sounds ch, j, jh are common to all Indian languages and are called palatal stops, whereas these ones ch, z and zh are peculiar to Marathi and they are technically called alveolar affricates. Palatal stops because they touch the hard palate of your mouth, and alveolar affricate because they touch the alveolar ridge and make a friction-like sound. Let's listen to this part of the song you heard at the beginning once more. So now
they harmonize beautifully. Yeah, Tsandani and z something.
Rang, not Chandini, Chandani. Therefore, the fourth tsa is like the tsa in Utsav or cats to sa.
Where the hell are you?
Tasuka.
Tahuka?
Tasuka, New Mexico, outside Santa Fe.
Are you stupid? If you don't get your ass back, you're gonna get tassooed.
I'm hoping that doesn't get me copyright struck, because I think that's BoJack Horseman. Totsator Chittatsor Vart Rokato Totsator Chittatsor Vart Rokatso Rokato, that's like Rukna in Hindi, I think. Sator Chittatsor. Hot? But the T at the end of hot is different. Like in Hindi it's hot. In here it's hot. Oruni. Hot Oruni. Kushal Rang Takitu.
Therefore, notice how in the Marathi word Chittatsor we find both the ch and the tsa pronunciations.
Yeah.
But
I mean, when I saw this, it's like I'm beginning to understand why my friend found Marathi class very difficult at school.
Marathi refuses to use a nukta or any symbol to distinguish these sounds.
Yeah.
Therefore, इस letter को देखकर बोलना ये impossible है in Marathi that whether this is ch or it is tsa. ये जो sound है च, ये हमें कश्मीरी में और तिब्बतन में भी मिलता है. Like for example, the Kashmiri roti tsot.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज की हमारी रेसिपी है चावल के आटे की रोटी, जिसे हम कश्मीरी में तुमलचोट या आबचोट कहते हैं।
In fact, ओल्ड तेलुगु में तो बकायदा 2 लेटर्स मौजूद थे जो कि इस साउंड्स को डिनोट करते थे. This one and this one.
Cool letters. Like, Southern Indian languages have very cool letters, I have to say. There's a lot going on in them.
But when the Telugu alphabet system was standardized, they got eliminated. We think that Marathi को ये च और ज sounds Telugu से मिले होंगे, but that actually does not seem to be the case considering no other Dravidian language has these sounds. Moving on.
Wait, so no other...
Similar to ц, z...
Wait, he translated what is what's up. Now I'm curious. I missed that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. What Atta's pointing out...
Like, for example, the Kashmiri roti tsot.
I'm gonna play this again because it's true. It is actually a hilarious translation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, what she said was Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Like what she actually said in Kashmiri is, in the name of Allah, the most merciful, Assalamu alaikum. And he translates that as what up.
आज की हमारी रेसिपी है चावल के आटे की रोटी.
Yeah, a good catch. I had actually missed that.
हम कश्मीरी में तुम लुचोट.
I'm going to skip again.
Jh. This sound is used in very common words like my or mera. वो गाना सुना है आपने? जय जय महाराष्ट्र माझा. Sorry. वहाँ पे जो ये word है माझा, वहाँ पे we find this sound. My के 3 forms होते हैं मराठी में, for male, female and neuter.
Yeah, they have neuter, unlike Hindi, for example, which is just...
Because Maharashtra is a masculine noun, we use माझा. Neuter के लिए हम use करते हैं माझा. So you would say माझा.
See, and here's another thing. Like this in Hindi would be pronounced madha.
So now, Ashrish, third is the feminine form. You would think that this would be Maji, following the same pattern. But as
it's
Marathi, तो simple नहीं हो जाता. Therefore, this word is not Maji, it is Maji. So Marathi switches from the alveolar form here to the palatal form. In fact, we notice कि किसी भी sound में जब e मात्रा use हो, then the normal palatal sound is used, ch or ch. And in other cases, the alveolar form is used. Therefore, while stubborn is ziddi in Hindi, it becomes jiddi in Marathi. Acha, did you notice this word that I showed you pehle? The neuter form of mera, maja.
Yeah, this is pronounced completely differently if you find it in Hindi.
I thought कि because of this anuswar, this sound should be mazam, but that is not the case. Marathi uses this anuswar in very unexpected ways. Pure Marathi में मेरा नाम was maze पहले, so maze now. But this maze in regions of Pune became maza, and because of the dominance of Pune, this form became the new standard. So to say kitab gir gaya, you would previously have said pustak khali pad le. But
there's an example, like in Hindi, actually, that word for book is the Arabic word kitab, but they have a totally different word in Marathi is pustak.
Now we say pustak khali padla. Now सोच के देखो पडला को कैसे लिखा जाता. अगर हम
पडला पादो
उसको इस तरह लिखते, then people could confuse it with padal, and therefore to make it super clear that it's padala, Marathi uses this mark in the end of la to indicate an extra a sound. अनुस्वार का pronunciation भी मराठी में हिंदी से थोड़ा अलग होता है. In front of certain sounds like these, अनुस्वार gets a half v flavor to it. Therefore, while this is sansar in Hindi, it would be samsar in Marathi.
Samsar.
Samvad in Hindi and samvad in Marathi.
Samvad.
Sangrakshan in Hindi, samrakshan in Marathi. ये वो sound जो है, वो मराठी को एक unique सा flavor provide करता है. Now, before I tell you about the 2 other unique sounds, I think it is a good time to discuss the historical roots of Marathi. कैसे create हुई ये भाषा? You see, Bengali and Hindi की तरह Marathi also is a language of the Indo-Aryan family.
Oh, I'm glad. This stuff makes me excited as well. Okay, so here we go. This is what I did not realize when I was assuming that Hindi and Marathi would be very similar. Okay, so the sort of internal, intermediate form between Sanskrit and the modern Indo-Aryan languages is called Prakrit. And there are all sorts of different versions of Prakrit. There is, if you look at the bottom right, there's Hindustani Prakrit. That's Hindi, Urdu, Haryanvi, Rekhta, Dakini. I've never heard of those three. Fine. And then there's, say, Elu Prakrit, which gives us Sinhala, Divehi, and then we've got like Punjabi, which is North Indic Prakrit, and stuff like that. But then Maharashtri Prakrit is completely elsewhere. So it is a distant cousin.
Sanskrit. And to be more precise, it has originated from Maharashtri Prakrit. As you know, संस्कृत भारत के 3 दिशाओं में जाकर 3 अलग-अलग styles adopt कर ली. पूर्व दिशा की ओर संस्कृत became softer, roundier, rhythmical, and it turned into Magadhi Prakrit, the mother of Bangla, Odia, and Ahomia. North की तरफ जाते-जाते, Sanskrit became little coarser, more firmer, more masculine, and it became Shauraseni Prakrit, the father of Haryanvi, Punjabi, and Rajasthani. But Dakshin की ओर जाकर,
and I have to say, Punjabi still sounds a lot more like Hindi. Like, my experience of Punjabi, which admittedly is limited, is that it is Hindi with some very clear phonetic variations. Like, the possessive is like ka, ki, ke in Hindi, and in Punjabi it's da, di, de. And in Marathi, it's something completely different.
It took another path. It became more dramatic and it turned into Maharashtri Prakrit, the parent of Marathi. We will talk about this dramatic nature of Marathi later, but now let's come back to the sounds. Sanskrit sounds, the same Sanskrit sounds, get transformed by each Prakrit in their own ways. For example, the Vedic Sanskrit term for a knife.
Prakrit is like India's version of Vulgar Latin, basically. And just like there are a million different kinds of Vulgar Latin depending on what part of the Roman Empire you're in, you got different kinds of Prakrit.
Is Kshuri. Now this Kshuri was a little hard for Prakrit speakers, and so it would transform. Shauraseni or Magadhi mein ye Ksha Chha mein badal jata.
Churi.
And therefore it became Churi. But Maharashtri Prakrit mein this Ksha sound became a Sa sound.
Suri.
And thus it became Suri. The plural of Suri is Surya. And this word is written like this. And this word is different from this word, Surya. Surya, Surya. This sound Rya is also unique to Marathi. Generally, Hindi में half R से कोई sound शुरू नहीं होता. Similarly, the complex Sanskrit letters R and Jya became different in Marathi and Hindi. Sanskrit में आप इन शब्दों को पढ़ोगे ऋषभ और ज्ञानेंद्र. But Hindi ने जब ये letters को adopt किया, they became Ri and Gya. So it's Rishabh and Gyanendra. Marathi mein, however, these sounds were different from Hindi. Instead of Ri and Gya, these became Ru and Nya. Therefore making these words Rushabh and Gyanendra.
Sangha Jnam Sundar Shyam Sundaras. Okay, how does she pronounce that? Because I see that word a lot in the book. Kaya Zahale. Ranga da Kalyavina Kuna na Sadle. In which second word? In the one before this? That is sh. That is sh. Yeah. When sh becomes a compound, this is true in Hindi as well, then you just take off that vertical line on the end, on the right end of sh, and attach it. So that's shyam. Sh, yam, shyam. I mean, this is what gets me about the way Marathi works. Like, I see two words that I know. Ranga and na. And then the rest of this, there's like, I'm pretty sure that most of this word is grammar. This Dakalyavina. I'm pretty sure Dakalyavina, like, is 60% grammar. But one other thing that I find interesting in Marathi is the past tense seems to be an L sound, which I find interesting because if you go a bit north and west, you get Slavic languages where the past tense is very often an L sound. Okay, the translation should be, how will you be safe, Radha? Interesting. Ektits vatshil kaya tutari. Okay, over here, atta, we were talking about the sh. In the second word, you can see sh in its full form. With an E, with a long E on the end of it. Vatshil.
Maharashtra Prakrit was a dramatic.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna skip you. There's something else. Yes, I mean, if you definitely watch the whole thing, but we're gonna skip over Maharashtra Prakrit because there is neat stuff. Yeah, I mean, Hindi Devanagari fonts are very
Move and go.
Are very diverse. Like that the way the L sound, I never learned the names of the, I'm sure there are names for the letters because everybody names the letters.
The traditional way he used.
But the normal L sound, the way that's done in this font, I had never seen before. It took me a second.
Locally available ingredients like arhar and tamarind. Everyone in the court loved this dish and they named it after the honorary guest of that day, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj.
Let me just make absolutely certain, since people may have joined after I drop this link. I'm going to drop this link again in chat because we're not watching the whole thing because it's a long video and I talk a lot. But it is really worth watching the whole
Son
thing.
of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And thus from Sambhaji came Samba. If that still wasn't clear, note that Marathi is the only language not from South India that is used extensively in the Carnatic music style in the form of abhangs, which are bhajans dedicated to Vithoba.
I don't think I realized that you knew Indian languages at all.
This practice of singing abhangs, also called Nam Sankirtan, was also started in Tamil Nadu, specifically in Tanjavur by the Marathi saint Samarth Ramdas. So, from sharing similar festivals like Ugadi and Gudi Padwa to similar food cuisines like Holige and Puran Poli, Southern India and Marathi cultures almost fuse into each other. Therefore, Marathi is technically an Indo-Aryan language, but it has been
I'm not actually sure how either, because in the book that I'm reading, when you have those sort of Anglo pleasantries, it just transliterates them. Yeah, like thank you. Every time I've seen the word thank you in the firm, which in Marathi, the Marathi title is the firm, is thank you. Thank you.
Dravidianized to a point that it exists in an uncanny valley where it is both familiar and unfamiliar to Aryan and Dravidian speakers both.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that is my experience of it, because it's like you will have things that are familiar, like the word for talk. The root is bol, like bolna in Hindi. But then it does all sorts of stuff that puts all sorts of things on the end that do not sound anything like Northern Indian languages.
Even in spirit, Marathi is not flowery like other Northern
Oh,
languages.
this is the best part.
It is more direct, it is less formal. For example, a simple word like I, Hindi uses aankh, Bangla uses chok, but Marathi calls it dore. The plural of which is doria. Marathi at no point tries to be overly sweet. It is direct. Marathi usually you don't use the aap form or the you with respect to refer to your
In fact, the only time I've seen aap as a root for anything in Marathi so far, it has meant we. It's like aapalya.
parents. You use the tu forms. Maybe this is why Marathi is the only Indian language that is bold enough to liberally use sarcasm, so much so that there is a native word for it. Kavachatpana.
Kavachatpana. Kavachatpana. Kavachatpana. Yes.
You will see this unique sense of humor in its supreme form in Pune, the king city of sarcasm.
There is a sarcasm capital of India. I had no idea about this, but it makes me want to go to Pune. There's a line in the hilarious show, The Thick of It, where Malcolm Tucker, played by Peter Capaldi, goes, "You have lost all purchase in a sarcasm universe." And now we know the sarcasm universe exists, and its capital is Pune. And they speak Marathi there.
Solely dedicated to
Oh wait, there's a Facebook group dedicated to sarcasm from Pune.
Communities.
So, Puneri Kavachatpana.
Solely dedicated to celebrating Puneri Kavachatpana.
Okay, now here, you gotta look at these.
Even there is a subculture of
Bollocks.
Puneri.
I was just trying to take the subtitles off so you can read the text. Okay, so Kripaya apna vahan yaha na kada kare. Please don't park here. In Maharashtra it says mi murka ahe mi gadi dictates lavnar. So in what is that? Is that Uttarakhand? It says please don't park here. In Maharashtra it says I am a dumb fuck, I'll park here.
Signboards or
here we go. Bel vadza viljavar Tori rate pahalyala shiti karat manasa rahatat Spider-Man nahi. Wait after you ring the doorbell. The residents are human, not Spider-Man.
Which are very humorous, borderline rude.
The bungalow is empty. There is nothing worth stealing here. Don't waste your efforts.
Always make you go, how did someone even think?
While washing hands, please do not make funny and weird noises. What is the Marathi for that? Krupaya hat dutana veda vakade va vichitra avaz I know karu nayet. So apparently there's Pune is going to be like the World Heritage Site for sarcasm.
Very much like British humor.
Either clean me or sell me.
Puneri humor uses sarcasm as a way to...
The goods will be given on credit only to the people aging 80 to 90, and that too after asking their parents.
To assert power. According to anthropologists, generally elitist societies में sarcasm use होता है. Sarcasm is a way to assert.
Elitist societies में sarcasm use होते हैं. That's how that is how English gets mixed into Hindi.
Authority while still coming across as polished and civilized. Very much like Maya Sarabhai. Maybe that is why Sarabhai versus Sarabhai would only have worked in Maharashtra. This wittiness of Marathi shows up in its theatre culture, which is very much a part of Marathi culture today.
नाटक ये महाराष्ट्र के सांस्कृतिक जीवन का एक बहुत ही अभिन्न अंग रह चुका है और मैं ये भी कहूँगा कि ये नाटक ही है जिसके कारण मराठी लोग जो है जिसे हम सभ्यता कहते हैं, संस्कृति कहते हैं, तो वो नाटक पढ़ने के कारण से नाटक देखने
Okay, I mean, we're
नाटक का आस्वाद
gradually running out of time. We still got a little bit left. But I mean, I'm enjoying this channel. This is a very interesting channel. I wonder what other Indian languages they've done stuff on. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go look at India in Pixels by Ashris. That is the name of the channel, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what other languages we've got. Why does Gujarati sound so tangy? Why is Hinglish so hated? We're gonna finish this off with why is Hinglish so hated. As a speaker of Hinglish, I must say, I want to know.
It's not the best time right now.
Hindi Pasha ke liye, it's not the best time right now.
के चीफ मिनिस्टर एमके स्टैलिन जी हैं हिंदी को अक्यूज किया है ऑफ स्वॉलोइंग अदर इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस ऑल द व्हाइल कर्नाटका में हिंदी अपोजिशन के खिलाफ लोग अपना आवाज उठा रहे हैं बट वुड यू बिलीव कि इंडिया में देयर एग्जिस्ट्स अ लैंग्वेज जिसके प्रति खुद हिंदी का रवैया काफी नासाज है अ लैंग्वेज दैट इज नॉट जस्ट हेटेड इन द साउथ बट आल्सो इन द नॉर्थ एंड दिस स्पेशल apology ladies and gentlemen goes to English.
I mean, okay, first of all, charmed by the graphics. Charmed by the graphics again. Copy video URL. I'm gonna drop this link in chat. Hell, I mean, actually, I mean, these are so good. I might watch more of these tomorrow.
It's a mix of Hindi and English. We call it Hinglish, where you mix and match like Hindi words and English words, and if you're speaking with someone who speaks both languages, it just works really well. It's the funniest thing. Other people don't really understand it, but it just
I mean, and this is really if you want to sort of level up other people's perception of your Hindi or Urdu, all you have to do is learn to throw in English words without missing a beat. If you don't know a word, you just say it in English. Nobody will notice. It is not a matter, like in some languages you have loan words that are thrown into the language because there isn't a really good word for it in the language that you're using. In Hindi, they don't care. In Hindi, they absolutely do not, they do not give a shit. They will throw in any word. Any English word is totally fine. Yeah, I've seen the Hinglish keyboard, actually.
Flows really well and you just go with it.
English is not Indian English. So expressions like, let's prepone this meeting. I'm like that.
Prepone is a great contribution to English lexicon.
Students are passing out. Can you revert back? ये सारे expressions हैं you need to. That only. Students are passing out. Can you revert back? ये सारे expressions हैं you need to Indian English. But ये English नहीं कहलाएंगे. English specifically उस variety of language को कहते हैं जिसमें English and Hindi के words एक दूसरे के साथ
English and Hindi के words? Yeah. Hindi English bro क्या problem है?
Fluidly intermixed.
Actually,
it's like every Bollywood movie that is not a period piece set in like the Raj is in English.
क्या हुआ है कि इनका प्लान जो है ना लास्ट मोमेंट पे था इसलिए टिकट खरीदने का टाइम नहीं था
और I think I feel like I saw this. This is Jab We Met.
ये कोई नई इन्वेंशन नहीं है. We all have grown up listening to many English ad jingles.
क्योंकि ये दिल मांगे more.
Taste भी, health भी.
ठंडा ठंडा, cool cool.
From movie titles like Dear Zindagi and Jab We Met to
Jab We Met, that's the one. Yes, I remember that. God, I saw that ages ago.
Love Aajkal and Shaadi Ke Side Effects. English आज इतना common है
Shaadi ke side effects, the side effects of marriage.
कि if you aren't paying attention, आप realize भी नहीं करोगे कब हिंदी start होता है और कब English खत्म होता है.
साड़ी के फॉल सा कभी मैच किया रे, कभी छोड़ दिया दिल, कभी कैच किया रे.
So, if you're new to this channel, hello, I'm Ashish. हम इंडिया के languages पे videos बनाते हैं, mostly in this cursed language, English.
Yes. I mean, and let me just say, I had not actually addressed this in this particular way because I was interested in it for the for the Marathi. But if you're looking for like Hindi comprehensible input, this is a great channel. I mean, like English comprehensible input. This is a great channel because it is indeed what he speaks.
की वजह से आप में से कई सारे लोग मुझे रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं to stop speaking in this mixed
मुझे रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि to stop speaking.
इस वीडियो में हम इन्वेस्टिगेट करेंगे कि इस मशहूर कंट्रोवर्शियल लैंग्वेज इंग्लिश को आखिर इतने लोग हेट क्यों करते हैं. तो चलो इंट्रो डन, क्यू द ब्रिज म्यूजिक.
Okay, I like this song. I wonder does he have a link to this song? Yeah, I mean, because he is constantly speaking English. I have to say, I mean, like, I'm not a lot of the time paying attention to the subtitles. Like, my Hindi is very limited. My English is way better than my Hindi. But, like, but I follow this really well, actually.
ये भाषाओं का मेल मिलाप is not exclusive to English. नागालैंड में यूज होती है Nagamese, which is a combination of Ohomia and a lot of tribal languages of Nagaland.
Interesting. I have no idea where this language is spoken, but it is interesting.
11th century में संस्कृत used to be paired with Tamil to form the mixed language of Manipravalam. इंडिया के बाहर mixed भाषाओं को macaronic languages बोलते हैं. 1850s में लिखा गया macaronic poem Carmen Possum Latin और English को combine करता है. And इस poem को बच्चे पढ़ते हैं in their introduction to Latin classes today. It goes, the nox was led by Lux of Luna, and 'twas a nox most opportuna. To catch a possum or a kuna, on sick a nox with canis unus, two boys went out to hunt for kunus. The corpus of this bonus canis was full as long as octospanis.
I've never heard that.
Islamic world में Arabic और Persian के mixed poems को मोलामात कहते हैं. Let's take the short molama written by Rumi for example. بسيارة أزمودة أما نبوذ سوذم من جرب المجرب حلت به الندامة. Whoever tests who has already been tested will always be afflicted with regret. Rumi वैसे कोन्या में रहते थे. This land was ruled by both the Byzantine Empire and the Seljuk Sultanate.
This is absolutely fascinating stuff. We're coming back to this channel. Definitely we are coming back to this channel.
So this was kind of like being in the middle of the Eastern and the Western civilizations. Rumi therefore not just wrote in Arabic and Persian but also Greek and Turkish. Interestingly, उन्होंने
Did he make Gurkish?
Greek और Persian को combine करके अपने spiritual master Shams के लिए एक poem भी लिखा था. It goes something like this. Puis
se affedimu Fegaro prosope. Interesting.
Fegaro prosope. Naipo sarakinika.
Pish as inki budeam ve aknun kistam.
is inki budham wa akinun kizam. Ya
Hey, I mean, this guy is like switching language. He is like switching between various languages that are in my sum pile.
اس ما بها سوي شما آمدهايم قصد ما فدا شدن در عشق شماست اگر به من بعده دهی شاد خواهم شد و اگر دشنام دهی باز هم شاد خواهم شد افیدی ό,τι θέλησι θέλω και παρακαλώ.
Afedi, which is actually from Effendi.
اگر بندهات مست است اکنون سخنان پرکندرا بشنو.
Okay, well, it is time to start wrapping up. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And if you do enjoy the stream, please consider supporting the stream, because at the moment it's a shitty time for translators, and support for my various projects is kind of my main kind of lifeline at the moment. So if you feel moved to do so, it is always appreciated. If you can't, it is understood, because it's a shitty time for a lot of people. Turkish Effendi, yeah. But if you do feel moved to do so, here is a link where you can do it. Have a good evening, and we will see each other tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And I think we'll probably watch more of this guy, because I'm enjoying this guy. This stuff is fascinating, and he gives good video.